my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we have some really exciting news for The Mandalorian Season 3, and we also have some more tidbits for Andor Season 2. So without much further ado, and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So as you guys might be aware, MakingStarWars.net revealed to us that The Mandalorian Season 3's final trailer is gonna drop on Christmas Day. Before then, on December 14th, we're getting the final poster. But now thanks to a promotional from Brazil's Comic-Con experience, also known as CCXP, we're probably getting some kind of new look on December 1st, next Thursday. A couple of days ago, it was revealed that CCXP will be having at least one panel dedicated to Disney, with Lucasfilm leading a presentation. As Star Wars Newsnet say, it's not clear how extensive it's going to be, but it was confirmed that news for both The Mandalorian Season 3 and the still untitled Indiana Jones 5 are going to be part of the presentation. Nothing expected for the Bad Batch though. Presuming there is going to be a new trailer at this event, we don't know if it's going to be just for those in attendance or released publicly on the same day, or maybe sometime later in the month. As I said, the rumour is Christmas Day. Indiana Jones 5 director James Mangold has confirmed the first trailer for his film is debuting sometime in the near future, just in time to play in front of Avatar: The Way of Water. CCXP on December 1st is probably the place we're going to see that, so maybe they're going to show it just after The Mandalorian Season 3's final trailer. But let me just reiterate, nothing is confirmed. I'm really excited for the marketing to pick up on Mando, and with a bit of luck, the final trailer is going to drop before Christmas. While they're probably not going to reveal too much in it, but it would be nice to see things that were not included in the teaser trailer. Maybe some Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth, even more shots of the pirates that invaded Navarro, or maybe even some more Grogu. Whatever the case, it's coming sooner than we expect, and the season itself, kicking off with Chapter 17, releases on February the 22nd. This is the way. And so now guys, we have more tidbits for Andor Season 2. In yesterday's video, I broke down 3 new articles from Collider where they spoke with Tony Gilory. He spoke about the role of K2, the first scene they filmed for the second season, and also the time jump between the revolution on Ferrix and Season 2. But now he brings up something else entirely, Cassian's sister. If you remember in the first 3 episodes, that was the central plotline, but eventually it was abandoned, and many fans assumed it was because Marva told him there were no survivors on Kenari. And that loss became a defining part of letting go of his past, and some of us were satisfied not to know more, but Tony now teases it might be addressed in the second season. This is from Bespin Bulletin, and they say the following. In the earlier episodes of Andor's first season, we saw our hero in search of his sister, Kerry. Not much has been developed regarding that thread since. The only line to reference Cassian's sister was in episode 7, when Marva tells Cassian to give up his quest for his sister. Everyone on Kenari unfortunately died. Some fans took Marva's words literally, Kerry is gone, but others took it as a caring mother just wanting her son to move on with his life. Well, now the creator and showrunner of Andor, Tony Gilory, provided an update on Cassian's quest for his sister, and if the line from Marva was true, this is what he said, quote, "Marva's kind of telling the truth. I'd say TBD, to be decided. I don't want to close the door on it." So there you have it, kind of similar to his comments on Kino Loy appearing in Season 2. He's not certain if he's gonna do more with that plot thread, or if he is, he's playing coy about it. Marva might have been telling the truth, or maybe not. I think that plot thread was very much about development, Cassian clinging onto elements of his past, and I'm not too sure if it's beneficial to the story going forward, unless of course they can make it work, make it relevant, and actually has a good place in Season 2, one that already plays into the story. Maybe Kerry survived and became a rebel herself, or a spy, or something like that, and perhaps Cassian comes across her accidentally. That's some way it could work. Now, I know I'm not alone in saying this, but I don't really care if we do get a conclusion or not. It sounds as though Season 2 has a lot going for it already, a story that is packed to the rim. Season 2 is covering a 4-year time span, with each 3 episodes covering 1 entire year, and that's going to lead to Rogue One, so it doesn't seem like there's enough time, unless of course, it comes naturally and accidentally. But it is something that fans have wanted answers to, explicit answers, so if Marva's answer wasn't enough, maybe Tony Gilory will decide to revisit it. Also on the Andor Season 2 front, Tony acknowledged how important that post-credit scene was, and how poetic and dark it was that Cassian and the prisoners were building part of the very thing that's going to kill him on Scarif, but it also sets up a wonderful appearance in Season 2. Orson Krennic. Back in June of 2021, the director was informed that Ben Mendelsohn would be reprising his Rogue One role for the Andor series. This didn't come to pass, well, not yet, and it's not the only cameo that we expected that didn't make it. Maybe they were planned, but fit in better in season 2, so the second season might be the cameo heavy one. And I say this because the creatives behind the show have been very vocal about the structure of the second season, and this means they probably know exactly how everything's going to play out and have done for some time. But you know, I use the word cameo, but they're really not. People like Krennic very much fit into the narrative that's going to take place in season 2. As Tony said, with people like Djarin, with anyone who's going to show up who we know from the wider Star Wars universe, if they're in the show, they're there for a reason. And another thing I noticed is in regards to Forrest Whitaker's Saw Gerrera. Even though we saw a lot of his partisans, not all of the ones we see in Rogue One are part of his militia yet, and that includes Bib Fortuna's cousin, Beezer. But I'm not trying to sound obsessive when it comes to character appearances. It's all about the structure, the narrative, the dialogue, and what makes the show great, the writing, and how they construct this story. Everything else is a bonus, but what I am saying is, all of the characters you might have expected leading up to the show have a very good chance of being finally incorporated in season 2. And so finally, my dear friends, Rian Johnson says he wouldn't mind if his Star Wars return was for a Disney Plus show. So he's apparently got a trilogy that's going to happen someday. He's been saying it for years, it was announced like 5 years ago, we've covered it extensively, and any Star Wars fan with any sense knows it's probably never going to happen. But now he says he would settle for a Star Wars TV show. He recently talked about his pride for The Last Jedi, how he wants to return to Star Wars for his trilogy, but now he spoke to The Hollywood Reporter and said, quote, "I would do a Star Wars anything, and if I had an idea I was excited about that works better as a TV show than a movie, I'd do it that way." But he says that's for the future. And I've got to wonder, does Bob Iger returning to Disney have any impact on Rian Johnson's possible future plans? Just some food for thought, especially with the recent rumours that Kathleen Kennedy might be leaving Lucasfilm after Indy 5. That film might be her swan song. This isn't a conspiracy, a wild rumour, these are actual rumblings from somewhat reliable sources. Let's wait and see. I wonder how that's going to impact Rian Johnson's potential future in the Star Wars franchise, if he has one. I'm sorry to bring him up again, he comes up every few months, or in this case, twice this month, but it was an article making the rounds and definitely worth speaking about. And one final thing before I go, Varada Sethu, who plays Cinta in the Andor series, has opened up about her thoughts on the show, and the biggest takeaway was this quote, "I think shows aren't political enough, so this is incredibly courageous. The first time I read the script, I cried. I felt that this was going to be such a special show. It was so beautifully written, and look guys, I've said this a million times, Cinta and Vel were two of my absolute favourite characters from this series. Amazing chemistry, a couple but two individuals with a very different view of the enemy, different perception on the fight, struggling to maintain their relationship amidst the chaos of the Imperial reign. Varada Sethu and Faye Maze did an amazing job. I'm so happy they made it off Ferrix together. I simply can't wait for more of them when the second season rolls around." But with that said, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of today's Star Wars news update. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos that you can't find here on YouTube, then click the link down there in the description. But until the next one guys, may the Force be with you always.